So I think the biggest growth opportunity for retailers going international is actually international. There was an interesting stat about 2-3 years ago that 3% of the world's internet traffic was generated in the UK, which means there's a 97% opportunity outside the UK. I think traditional bricks and mortar retailers would die for that sort of opportunity. And I think if you cut it down, there's probably 3 segments. There's the easy markets. Actually sending and delivering a parcel to anywhere in the EU is very similar to sending a parcel to somewhere in the UK. Fairly small opportunities outside of that. US and Australia are obviously huge opportunities at the moment, and within our business we still see the lion's share of parcels going to those countries. Slightly more challenging because it's customs and it's further afield, but they're mature markets. Outside of that, I think you've got the emerging markets, places like Russia, Brazil, India. From a delivery perspective, much harder, but I think for bold retailers, that's the new emerging markets to go for. So I think the main challenges is really around customer confidence. Actually, once you sort of open the doors to customers within those markets, they naturally search, they can naturally find the web shops. I think the challenges are broken down to logistics, actually getting the parcel there. Sounds easy, but when airlines are involved, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. So I think finding a partner that can provide that type of service and confidence is key. Someone that can represent your brand. I think the customers that shop, the key to the web shops is making sure they come back again, and that's a good experience through delivery. Clearance and customs issues are probably number one. I think that goes right into the heart of what the retailer is doing from a merchandising buying perspective all the way through to the delivery elements. The delivery elements themselves, once in country, are relatively easy. I think it's very key that a customer gets an experience that they would be used to from an in-country web shop. So replicating that experience once it hits country. The customs elements actually I think scare a lot of people. If you break it down, it can be easier than it looks. I think the key elements to get right are providing a partner that can get parcels into the country and making sure the integrity of data that's being provided both to the customer and to the provider is absolutely key. A consumer wants to know where their parcels are, and more often than not, if you deliver that parcel in the timescales you've promised and you keep them updated, that customer will never contact you. So making sure there's regular communications to that customer is key. From a customs perspective, it's actually just ensuring the data and the data provided matches the product that's being sent. One of the things that we try and do is work with retailers and customers in ensuring that customs know what is going to arrive before you actually send that parcel. And engaging customs and telling them what's going to arrive can often ease that process. And ultimately, customs officers like internet traffic. If they want to check what the product was and how much it was sold for, they can go onto a website and see the product there and then. Ensuring first-time delivery is key, and I think there's a bit for everyone to play in that process. Ensuring first-time delivery starts at the web checkout. So giving the customer information based upon what to expect is absolutely key. Promising a 4-day delivery when you've only got a certainty of 80% of it getting there in 4 days is the first issue. Along the journey, I think it's then key both the retailer and the carrier informs the retailer of any unexpected delays or milestones within that delivery process. As I say, moving along that process, if everything's going to plan, then the consumer won't generally contact the retailer. When things go wrong, it's absolutely key that both parties are proactive in contacting that consumer. So managing exceptions, ensuring that the data flow back to the retailer is precise and on time, just enables a consumer to be told. In one of my previous lives, we actually went live with a proactive communication. We cut down the number of calls into the retailer by 50%, and the 50% that were contacting were actually happy because they'd been told something was wrong, and it was a positive communication rather than a negative one.